Hi, I'm Dale Perryman, and I want to take a minute to address some of the comments I've seen online, particularly from people suggesting that I should have somehow known in real time that my 5165 call was unrealistic. First, let me say I appreciate healthy debate, but I want to give you some perspective from someone who was actually in the arena that day, not watching from the sidelines after the fact. Sometimes people tell me, Dale, you've got ice in your veins. In fact, someone called me the Iceman, but that's not really true. I'm not fearless. I get nervous. I get a dry mouth. I just have had a lot of experience, a lot of training, and a lot of hours handling pressure. It's like a paramedic arriving at a bad accident scene, or a police officer walking into a chaotic situation, or a pilot facing sudden turbulence at 35,000 feet. They stay calm because they've practiced it, they've trained for it, they've lived it again and again. It's the same for me in trading. This wasn't my first rodeo. I've traded thousands of spreads under stress. I know how to move fast, protect capital, and trust the systems I've trained to use. Was this situation extreme? Yes. But I did exactly what any experienced professional would do: act fast, trust my training, trust the platform, because that's what you have to do when every second matters. And frankly, it's easy to critique from the sidelines, but in the moment, real leadership means action, not hindsight. Classic hindsight thinking works as follows. Now, it's easy sitting safely on the shore to look at the wreckage and say, well, if I had been there, I would have known. I would have done it differently. It's easy to second guess in hindsight from a warm, dry room after all the facts have been neatly laid out. You see, hindsight is a trap. Hindsight is easy. It makes decisions look obvious, but only after you already know the outcome. The right decision is based on probabilities at the time, not on the perfect outcomes revealed later. I'm a poker player. I played in the world record for the longest poker session with Phil Locke. Many times a real bird might say, you should have stayed in that hand. You knew your card was coming. That's hindsight thinking. No player knows the next card. Just like poker, trading requires decisions with uncertainty, and judging after the fact is unfair. It's easy to run a company when you don't have to, and you can't convict someone because they didn't know the future. Aside from hindsight thinking, there's a deeper issue nobody's talking about. No other industry would allow something like this to happen. Imagine your house catches fire and your smoke alarm doesn't go off until the next day. Your home is gone, maybe even your loved ones. And when you ask why, the smoke alarm company says, relax. It's in our 700-page policy manual. We're allowed to delay your alert during big fires. Would you accept that? Of course not. Can you imagine that being acceptable? Of course not. It would be outrageous. And this is exactly what the CBOE has done. They busted a trade hours after the event. They notified Schwab after the market closed, and they hid behind a 700-page policy manual nobody can realistically monitor in real time. Additionally, Schwab notified me 20 hours after the trade took place and is penalizing me for a trade they never would have allowed me to put on due to buying power considerations. This isn't just about me. It's about every trader who relies on platforms and exchanges to do their jobs fairly, promptly, and transparently. If they can change the rules after the fact without immediate notification, then the integrity of the entire system is at risk. I'll own my trades, winners and losers, but I won't ignore the realities of real-time obstacles like inefficient communications or platform errors. and I will shout my barbaric yelp from the rooftops of the world about broken systems that betray trust. Thanks for listening. And for those of you who understand, who know what it's like to fight through the storm instead of criticize from the shore, I appreciate you more than you know.